Just when you thought Microsoft would never make its own PC, it releases the Surface Book $1,699 as tested, a powerful, capable hybrid that marries the best qualities of a laptop with the versatility of a Windows tablet. Its innovative design and big, beautiful display, along with class-leading performance and more than 15 hours of battery life in our tests, are well worth the price and earn the Surface Book our first Editor's Choice Award for high-end detachable hybrid tablets. Design and features. The Surface Book's silver magnesium alloy body has a premium look and feel similar to the 13-inch Apple MacBook Pro, its most readily identifiable rival. It certainly has a lighter color scheme than the all-black Dell Latitude 13 7000 Series 2 inches, 17350, which is our editor's choice for business detachable hybrid tablets. In laptop mode, i.e., with the keyboard attached, it tapers in thickness from 0.9 to 0.5 inch. Its length and width are 9.14 and 12.3 inches, respectively. That's similar in size to the Dell Latitude 13 7350. It's a bit longer, but not as wide. The system weighs 3.34 pounds in laptop mode, and 1.6 pounds for the tablet alone. That's a bit heavier in laptop mode than the Lenovo Lavi Z360, which weighs 2.06 pounds, but the latter is a convertible laptop whose screen isn't removable. View all 7 photos in gallery. Detachable hybrid tablets use a variety of latching mechanisms. The Dell Latitude 13 7350 and the Toshiba Portage Z20TB 2112 sport a simple sliding latch, while the one on the Lenovo ThinkPad Helix 2nd Gen has a mechanical push-button release. Some less expensive models like the Acer Aspire Switch 11 SW51713225N have a magnetic latch. The Surface Book has a mechanical latch, but it's actuated electrically. When you hold down the detach button located next to the delete key on the keyboard, the tablet will vibrate, a light on the keyboard will turn green, and a window will pop up on screen to let you know it's safe to detach. This only takes about 2 to 3 seconds. You can then use the screen like a tablet. The tablet clips back on just as easily, using metal spades and magnets for guidance. You can also clip it back on with the display facing the opposite direction in display mode, which keeps the keyboard out of the way for better touchscreen access. Since the power button and the volume controls are on the part of the tablet that would rest on your desk or table, we don't recommend using the system intent mode. The 13.5-inch, 32 aspect ratio pixel sense screen is larger than the display on the Microsoft Surface Pro 4 tablet. The system is designed to fit easily in the crook of your arm, with better balance than a tablet with a 169 aspect ratio, like the Dell Latitude 13 7350 or the 11.6-inch Lenovo ThinkPad Helix 2nd Gen. The display is bright, with vivid e-colors even in a sunlight-filled room. It has an excellent 3000 by 2000 resolution, which is much higher than the 1920 by 1080 resolution of the Dell Latitude 13 7350, the 2560 by 1440 resolution of the Lenovo Lavi Z360, or the 2560 by 1600 resolution of the 13-inch Apple MacBook Pro. You'll be able to view photos, spreadsheets, and videos without having to zoom in. Keeping multiple windows open side by side is also easy. The resolution is lower than the 4K 3840 by 2160 resolution of the Toshiba Satellite Radius 15P55WC5212 4K desktop replacement laptop, but you won't miss it unless you're a videographer shooting in 4K. The backlit, chiclet-style keyboard feels comfortable. There's zero keyboard flex, and each key feels firmly attached. The one-piece glass laminated touchpad is quick to respond to multi-touch commands. The system's 10-point touchscreen is equally responsive whether attached or detached from keyboard. The included Surface Pen attaches to the side of the screen magnetically, which is much more convenient than the fabric loop on the Microsoft Surface Pro 3. As on the Microsoft Surface Pro 4, the eraser-like button on the top of the pen automatically brings up OneNote on the Surface Book with a single click, and opens the Cortana voice assistant if you hold the eraser for a second or two. The Surface Pen has 1024 levels of pressure sensitivity, which is sufficient for prosom-level artwork. It also varies the thickness of lines when you're writing, so you can write with delicate bold pen strokes. Rubbing the eraser tip on the screen deletes those lines. While the tablet mode is top-notch, you'll likely spend most of the time using the Surface Book as a laptop. It utilizes what Microsoft calls a dynamic fulcrum hinge, which flexes open using parallel hinges rather than a single hinge, as on traditional laptops. It's similar in spirit to the watch band-style hinge on the Lenovo Yoga 3 Pro, but more complex, wider, and without the full 360-degree multi-mode adjustment. The hinge prevents the screen from tipping over when open. Since the fulcrum moves, the Surface Book is always balanced and stable on your lap or on your work surface. The dynamic fulcrum hinge doesn't lie flat when closed, so you may have trouble stuffing the system into a crowded laptop bag. Microsoft tested the hinge to a compression load of 40 pounds, so it should be tough enough to survive your commute. It feels as sturdy as a standard laptop when you pick up the system by the screen or the base. The gap left by the hinge has an unexpected fringe benefit: the keys don't come into contact with the screen, so the keyboard isn't recessed as it is on most laptops. It's a subtle difference, but your hand position feels more like you're typing on a desktop keyboard. The tablet portion doesn't have any ports aside from a headset jack and its connector to the keyboard. The I/O ports are located on the keyboard portion, which reinforces the notion that you're going to be carrying both pieces around while traveling. The SD card reader and two USB 3.0 ports are on the left side, while the mini display port and the Surface docking connector are on the right. There's a USB jack on the power adapter, but it's only a charging port. For extra connectivity, you'll need the separately available Surface Dock $199.99, which includes an Ethernet port, two mini display ports, and four USB 3.0 ports. The system has a 5-megapixel front-facing camera for selfies, Skype, and Windows Hello, while the rear-facing autofocus camera has an 8-megapixel sensor. Both cameras can record 1080p HD video. Camera performance was good in testing, but pictures were a bit noisy in low-light conditions. Windows Hello, a security feature that lets you use facial recognition to log into your laptop just by looking into the camera, will be available later as an upgrade in Windows 10. It wasn't active in our review unit. Our test configuration has a 6th-generation Core i5 CPU, 8GB of memory, and a 256GB solid-state drive SSD. Thankfully, the SSD is unencumbered by bloatware. The only thing it has is the Windows 10 OS. There are other configurations of the Surface Book available. The $1,499 base model has 8GB of memory and the same Core i5 processor, but with only a 128GB SSD. Higher-priced models include one for $2,699 with 16GB of memory, a 512GB SSD, a discrete NVIDIA GeForce GPU, and an Intel Core i7 processor. The $3,199 top-of-the-line model upgrades the storage of the latter configuration to a 1TB SSD. The system comes with a 1-year warranty. Performance review unit has a 6th-generation 2.4 GHz Intel Core i5 6300U processor with integrated Intel HD 520 graphics. Since it uses a full laptop CPU, the Surface Book requires fan-assisted active cooling, unlike the passively cooled Intel Core M processors in the Dell Latitude 13-7350, the Lenovo Yoga 3 Pro, the Lenovo ThinkPad Helix, and the Toshiba Portage Z20T. On the PC Market Work conventional test, the Surface Book returned an excellent score of 2,583 points, just behind the Toshiba Z20T 2,607 and far ahead of the Lenovo Yoga 3 Pro 2,094 and the Lenovo ThinkPad Helix 2,083. See how we test tablets. The Surface Book topped our multimedia tests with a time of 2 minutes 20 seconds on Handbrake and 307 on Photoshop. That beat the Apple MacBook Pro 13-inch 238 on Handbrake, 417 on Photoshop, which has a slightly faster 2.7 GHz 5th-generation Intel Core i5 processor. The system is also competitive with the Apple MacBook Pro 13-inch on the Cinebench R15 test. 307 points for the Surface Book, 311 points for the MacBook Pro. Coming in at third place on the tests is the Lenovo Lavi Z 360,348 on Handbrake, 426 on Photoshop, 272 on Cinebench, while the rest of the Chrome-equipped tablets and laptops took significantly longer for each test. The Surface Book is certainly capable of taking care of your photo and video editing needs at business, hobbyist, or prosumer levels. 3D performance from the integrated Intel HD 520 graphics is good for the category. The Surface Book returned just below playable frame rates on the Heaven 22 FPS and Valley 25 FPS game tests at medium quality settings. Its scores on 3D Mark CloudGate 5,842 points and 3D Mark Firestrike Extreme 388 points are top-notch, compared with other detachable hybrid tablets. With a bit of tweaking, you should be able to play AAA games like BioShock Infinite and GTA 5 in low to medium quality settings. Less strenuous games like Civilization V or Diablo 3 should play smoothly, even at full 3000 by 2000 resolution and medium quality settings. All of the other systems we compare it to here had frame rates in the single digits or teens on the gaming tests. The Surface Book has two batteries, one in the tablet portion and another, larger one in the keyboard base. Together, they lasted a very impressive 15 hours 41 minutes on our rundown test. That's hours longer than the Lenovo ThinkPad Helix 2nd Gen 1332, the Dell Latitude 137350951, and the Toshiba Portage Z20T1408 when each is connected to its respective keyboard base. It also outlasted traditional laptops, like the Apple MacBook Pro 13-inch 1110. The tablet portion lasted 421 when detached from the keyboard, which is good, but it ran out a lot quicker than the 7 to 9.5 hours the other tablets lasted while detached from the bases. This reinforces the notion that the Surface Book is strongest when used like a laptop. Conclusion: the Microsoft Surface Book compares well with the best premium laptops we've seen, with the added feature of a detachable screen. Sure, the dynamic fulcrum hinge can be a bit fussy, but it solves more problems than it creates. This system's benchmark performance rivals that of our top ultra-portable laptop, the Apple MacBook Pro. It's very light in both laptop and tablet modes, and is unencumbered by bloatware. Rivals like the Lenovo ThinkPad Helix 2nd Gen and the Toshiba Portage Z20TB 2112 cost $1 or $200 more, but lack the versatility of the Surface Book and don't match it on performance or battery life.